All right, we're back. First off, since we had some problems last week with audio and all that good stuff, before I get rolling and talking about anything, can you hear me? Can you see me? Is everything working? Let's get through this stuff first before I move on to anything else. Let me know. Let me know. Looks like I've got one watching, and that looks like Linda. At least I think. I think so. Let's see. Check the mic. Do. Unmuted. There we go. Test one. Yep, looks like it's working. Okay, cool. Camera. Good. All right, we're gonna hang out just a little bit. We got three people in. Tonight we're gonna finish this thing up and we're gonna get this guy all painted up. That way this project's done, and then we will move on to a new project, hopefully pretty soon. So we'll wait just a little bit longer. We got 6 rolling in now. Hello, everyone. If you're here, sound off. Let's see in the chat. I want to see who's here. I can see there's 6 watching, but I don't know exactly who is here with me. Linda says she's already a week behind. I hope the rest of you guys are building along, or at least to this stage, right? Hopefully we're here. This guy's turned out pretty cool. Rosanna, I'm never going to get your name right. Hello, how are you? Hope everything's going good. Yeah. Hey, Berlin Davis is here. Hey, glad to see you. Glad to see you in the chat. This paint job is going to be fairly easy on this thing tonight. We're going to base the whole thing out in black, and then we're going to do a white dry brush over the top of that. And then we're going to do some color washes over the top of that, and then maybe hit it with some other some other hit it with some other colors, whatever, dry brush with some other colors. Really, you're behind too as well. So hey, Linda's not the only one behind. I was behind until the other day, and then I got myself caught up. All because of you guys. Honestly, I wasn't doing this on Monday nights, and you guys been watching. I probably would have been busy doing some other stuff and not getting this thing done. Well, you know what? You're here now live as it is, so you're good to go. Okay, let's change the old camera here. Let's move this one down. Let's see what we can do here. Come on down. And let's move Franken Doll. Yeah, you're on live. Awesome. Glad you're on live. We're going to switch these cameras around. You guys can see a close up here. The little camera now is the overhead view. I wish I could make it come closer, but I can't get it to focus down in. So this is going to work. I'm hoping I haven't taken these eyes off, and I'm not going to take the eyes off. I'm going to kind of try to avoid painting over them, but if I do, I'm hoping that these little plastic ruby type things I put in here as eyes, I'll be able to scrape the paint off after it dries up. If I can't get it to scrape off, after the paint dries up, then I'll just paint the eyes. Tonight, I'm just going to base this out. This is just a acrylic black, just because of time. Normally, I would do this. Well, normally, I didn't get a chance. I would have done the spar urethane over this in the raw and got this weather sealed. I didn't get a chance to do that. And then I would have done, I've got a black exterior latex paint out there that we would have done the base coat in the black exterior latex. I don't have that. I've got it. But the thing is with the latex, it dries slower. And I want to get this done tonight. The acrylics dry faster. So I'm going to base it all out in this. So I'm dealing with all acrylics tonight, and then I will just seal the living crap out of it with spar urethane afterwards, and then cross my fingers and hope that I sealed it up good enough, since I left out a bunch of stages of sealing, because yeah, this will be going outside like everything I make that goes outside. This is going to be a little tedious to paint too. Hopefully I can keep this in focus with you guys, especially when it comes down to all these little vines. Now, I hope you guys use the jute twine. I really like the jute twine. It gets real hard. Like, some of this isn't even, like, there's some gaps where you can see through where it's come off the wire and then dried up, and then it's dried super hard. I really like the way the jute twine holds that Titebond 2 paste. It becomes really, really stiff. I did that on that little, I don't know if anybody's seen the little short that I put out. I did a snowman scarecrow thing, and I did that in, I did the same thing. I used jute twine for a little hat, and it turned out really good. I'm going to hold this up like this for now real quick, just so I can, these legs are a pain, right? They're just a pain in the butt to work around. But let's get this thing going. I'm going to start off down in here. Get some of these here. You know what? Let's get some tunes. I was looking for some other tunes before this thing started, and I found the deal, but I wasn't able to get stuff downloaded in time. So, unfortunately, hey, someone's calling my phone. How about that? And we'll silence that. Okay, where are we at? Let's throw some of this awesome music they got up. Let's do, they got this says rock. Let's see what that's all about. There we go. Turn this music down to about 38. You know what? I wonder if that was an issue on the other one. Well, shouldn't be. Okay. Coolio, let's get back over here. Comments. I can't see. Joey, nice to see you. Glad you're here. Yeah, you should get caught up. I don't know why. Well, depending upon how life is. Hopefully no one that's been working with us and doing this, there's been some, last week there were some crazy tornado outbreaks in Arkansas and some other places. That stuff is scary. Hopefully no one that we know or on here has been caught up in any of that. That's no fun. Supposed to be some more weather tomorrow. Oh, come on. Let's see, I want another smaller. to get into there. Let's see if we can get way down in there with this. That works. Probably not going to get color in that area though. Some of this jute's kind of in the way, just in this area right here. Oh my goodness, I forgot to get me a cup of water. To rinse my brushes out with. Well, here's a little water. This will work. It's drinking water, but whatever, we'll use it. That'll work, that'll work. All right. These things really got some crevices to get into. Also, painting these things when they're raw like this, it really it just really soaks the paint up as well. That helps it dry a little quicker. Definitely spray paint or putting this in a spray gun and shooting the black on here would for sure be a much easier way. But not everybody has access to spray guns and or hair brushes. So it is kind of nice to be able to show everyone. You can still pull it off with paintbrush and some paint, and even some cheap brushes, because this is a cheapo brush from Wally World, out of a cheap little kit. Something I didn't say last week too that I meant to do, and I didn't. I got a soft spot right here. I should have taken some more time before tonight, and I could have layered some more wood glue on this and water and soak that up even more. I could have made that harder. So if you ever notice on your cotton, when you're doing cotton ball stuff, if it seems to be, you find after it dries up, if you got some soft spots, just grab a paintbrush and grab if you're using Type Bond 2 wood glue and water, and then just brush right back over that again, and you can do that a few times and it'll start to harden up. So yes, I was going to try to avoid these little eyeballs. Oh my gosh, I already got a couple of them covered. How about that? Well, let's just hope that I can scrape that off. Dude, that's good that you guys got through without anything happening. We've been very fortunate over the past few years. I mean, well, I can't remember how many years ago now it was when the big tornado rocked Joplin, Missouri, that's really where we go do like all of our shopping and stuff. We live in a little town called Baxter Springs, Kansas. We're in the very southeast corner of Kansas. So this town borders Oklahoma, and then you drive just outside of town and you run into the Missouri border. But Joplin is kind of the next biggest town. So they've got malls and stuff and things like that. So we'll go shopping out there when that tornado came through. As a matter of fact, I worked in Joplin that time. And that tornado tore up, was just havoc, was really, really bad. And then it was just a few years later, tornado came through Baxter here, cut the town basically in half. We were super lucky because the tornado was only like an F1 or an F2. So, I mean, it caused damage, but the town wasn't wiped out. And had it been anything close to the size of the one that went through Joplin, this town wouldn't even exist anymore. The whole thing would have been gone. RJ, hey, how are you? Nice to see you in the chat. I'm not for sure if I've seen you in chat before, but if I have and I'm mistaken it, I apologize. If you're new to chat tonight, hello. Tonight's deal is going to be fairly easy. Like I said, we're just painting this thing. Any questions that you guys have or might have, or any kind of conversation on anything, throw that up there in the chat and we'll talk about it. Whether it comes to building these props or other props, or even, you know, I don't know, scary movies, Halloween, whatever, it doesn't matter. Hopefully that background music isn't too loud and you can hear what I'm saying and it's not too bad. Oh, these this hanger wire still got some spring to it too. Painting it's very interesting. I always get myself in these weird little predicaments with my choices. It'll pan out though. At least I think it will. And these glasses are old. We got scratches on them. Kind of hard to see. I got some other glasses I had on, but they got that blue light blocking whatever, and it changes the tint when I'm looking at color, and that drives me crazy. When I'm doing something like this, I want to see the actual color. I don't want it distorted from glasses. If that makes any sense. Hey, thanks saying it looks good. Man, I probably didn't see it by everything running through. And RJ also says, don't miss a spot. You know what? I'm going to try not to. But I can almost guarantee you, as soon as I get this black on through here, that I'm going to look back and see some spots. I was going to paint, when I started painting this, full intentions in my head that I was going to paint the abdomen first. And now I've managed to not paint the abdomen first. because I was holding on to it. Man, so I've got this idea that the original one, kind of the base of the stem area was green, and then all these little pieces that wrapped around the leg, I painted those like a lighter brown and had them stand out, and that's what I had intended on doing tonight. But that's going to be interesting to do. No, it's just with the AC running, it's super loud. That's why I had to do that. I've been inspired by your awesome spider to make a similar one on a very small scale with a plastic Easter egg. Hey, that sounds pretty cool.
Where's my special here?
Because I have set in it and moved it and set in it and moved it. If you get on that and get that going on,
Do you dry brush the brown one?
send some pictures. I'd love to see it. Do what?
Dry brush the brown one.
I'm going to dry brush on the brown on, but I have a feeling when it gets to it, I'm going to have to do a little bit of small brush. I don't know. We'll see what happens. If I get lucky and it all pulls through just by dry brushing the brown on this, that'll be awesome. If not, then I'm going to have to get some extra detail to the legs with a smaller brush and follow the jute twine.
We were watching upstairs for a minute.
On the big screen?
No, on my phone, so I didn't mess up your connection.
Oh, the spider's knocking stuff over. Feeling any better? Or are you still feeling kind of? Gary's been a little under the weather the past couple of days. He's finally starting to feel a little bit better today. Oh, man. I could have spent, boy, I kind of rushed these legs too. I could have spent a little more time on these and added just a few more pieces of jute twine to this just to really give it some more creep factor. But I got, well, I've been busy and then I got kind of lazy on it, and then at the last moment I was like, oh, I gotta get this done before Monday. So I sat down and slapped it real quick. It's got so much going on. This little, if you want to call it a studio that you guys watch me in, you see from the back side here. Been expanding it. The patron members know about it. I'm getting ready to give them an update on where it's at the next couple of days. So between work and then working on that, I've just been super busy, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh yeah, wow, I gotta get the old spider done. But I mean, that's, you know what, that's cool. The Monday night lives are good for that, because it, with everything I've been doing, like I said before, if it wasn't for the Monday night live, I probably wouldn't be this far along in this little guy. I'm really hoping that I can scrape that paint off those eyes. I don't want to get in there and paint them again. Man, you're so right. The workshop is never big enough. This is going to add a lot more space, because I share this space with Carrie too, because she does some crafty stuff. And she likes to make cards and things like that. So I kept, when I was making the other YouTube videos and trying to put camera stand and different angles and things, I was always getting in her junk in her area, so this will kind of help out. And then we also try to do, like, my brother, when his daughter during Christmas time comes home to visit, we usually do like your craft day type of thing, where they come over and we make, I'm going to say the C word here, where I said it once, make Christmas ornaments and things like that. So it's kind of become a little bit of a tradition. But in the past, we've had to drag everything upstairs to do that. And the changes that I've got made, we'll be able to bring everybody, just be able to come down here, because there's going to be another real big workstation, and actually finished out. This side of the basement's never been finished out, never ever. Besides this one little, what was this one little bitty room for doing this. The eyes, RJ, are these are like a little plastic ruby looking thing that we'll pick up from Hobby Lobby. And I had some, I was messing around with it earlier. You can see some of the paste, shea paste. I think that'll focus. I don't know if that's going to focus on that or not. Focus. Anyway, I was able to scrape some of the dried paste off of it, so hopefully the acrylic paint will scrape off easy enough. But that's what the eyes are. And if I remember right, I think I did the same thing on the big pumpkin spider I did. I think I wound up scraping it off too, because I was going to, I sat down earlier before the live started, and I was going to take the eyes off. And they're so little, and I started messing with that, and it was so tedious. And I was just decided against it. I let laziness win out. Holy Toledo. Every time I think I got these legs completely covered, I see more spots. Yeah, I bet a little paint thinner would do just fine. Peel it off and not mess up the little jeweled eyes themselves. That air conditioner just kicked on. Hope that's not too noisy for you guys. At least hopefully you can still hear me. One of these days I'll buy a microphone that's got a noise canceling deal on it so that won't get picked up in the background. Or I don't know if I can. Be nice if I could put something around that to kind of deaden the sound. I might be able to. I might be able to build a little movable wall thing around it. I don't want anything permanent around it. I can build a little wall thing around it or something and put some foam in there to deaden that noise. That would help out. Sweet. Can't even hear it. Awesome. Hey, Joseph. Nice. Yeah, nice to have you on live. It's nice to see people finally being able to catch it live. I'm beginning to wonder if I need to start lives a little bit later, like maybe at 8 o'clock my time or something might help some people out. Also, while you guys are here, and I'm probably going to repeat this 2 or 3 times tonight. This is the last night the spider's going to be done, so that means we need a new project. Kind of thinking about like a pumpkin groundbreaker type of thing, some other kind of pumpkin creature. I don't know. If you guys got some ideas or something you'd like to see on a class, let me know. That way I can start putting some things together to get the next class rolling. So that would probably mean that next Monday night there won't be a live class. Because I'll be figuring out everything for the next class, like material list and that type of stuff. And also, you guys have you can find me on Facebook, and my email address is unhingedprops@gmail.com. I really want to do this where I really give you guys a good product, a good materials list. You go get those materials, come back, and that way you can build along. Some of these things, like if we do something I never did before, I can give a material list on what I think we're going to need, but I'm not going to guarantee that that's it. And if you guys will hold me a little more accountable by sending some emails and things like that, requesting materials list, that will help me remember to get things put together to give you guys a material list. I just get busy and I forget. All right, that's pretty good in black. We're gonna let this sit for just a minute. We're gonna let this thing dry up some, and then we'll move on to putting on some dry brush white. Joseph says spider's looking great. Thank you, sir. For the fangs, can I make them from mache clay? Linda, absolutely you can. I made these from mache clay, and I did it on the first live class when I did just worked on the abdomen or whatever, when it was just a balloon. All I did was kind of rolled it in this little plastic mat, and I just rolled back and forth a little bit until I kind of got the point shape to them, and then let them dry. I actually let them dry on this mat, and then they popped off the next day. And then a couple weeks ago, before I put them in, I used to Dremel and hit them real quick, just kind of shaping them up a little bit more, and they're great, good to go. A person can make these out of like a polymer clay too. But here's the thing I've noticed, because I hadn't really played with polymer clays until I did my little gnome thing, Christmas gnome with all the teeth in it, and that stuff breaks super easy. Except for you can get there's a cos clay you can get, which is flexible, which I want to get something to play with. However, all that crap being said, even something like this in the polymer clay down towards the tips can get pretty brittle. It's funny, the mache clay is much stronger, especially on stuff like this, than polymer clays are. You wouldn't think that's how it is, you wouldn't think that's the way, but it really is. Problem is, you can roll a finer tip with polymer clay. It looks better, it's easier to do. These are a little more of a pain in the butt, but you can always sand the stuff down to get a better quality on it. But it does hold up, man. It is, surprisingly, it's stronger, you know? I don't know, I grew up over the past few years. I've been doing mache, 12, 13 years, something like that, maybe a little bit longer than that. Originally, it was kind of looked down upon, especially for prop stuff, and I get it. I mean, some of my stuff, I've had stuff that's gone bad in the weather or whatever. I've learned a lot on sealing them. Now all my stuff stays out. And it really depends on your armature underneath. If you're doing something over foam, that mache clay is going to last. It's going to last forever. I mean, it really is. But the more I've messed with this stuff, the more I've played with it, and the more I've had junk out in the yard, where I've had latex masks out in the yard that I've filled up with, newspaper or foam or whatever, and put on a head to make a dummy. The latex in the sun cracks and falls apart, goes nasty, that type of stuff. The mache clay doesn't do that. It doesn't crack. It can be out in the sun and get those UV lights, and that doesn't cause a problem. They just keep on keeping on. So it's nice. It's got its pros and cons. If you don't seal it correctly, yeah, you can have problems with water or mold or that type of stuff. But you can get it sealed properly and put it outside, it holds up to the sun way better than freaking latex or anything else does. I need an extension cord. Hang on, I'm going to speed this up with a heat gun. As soon as I find an extension cord that I thought I had that I don't. Was not prepared. Where did those go? Here we go. Here's the cord. I'm still here. I haven't ran away. I'm just over here. See if I can get this cord thrown under the table. Oh, get the trash can. Everything's all cluttered up over here. I've pushed everything this way. I've kind of pushed everything this way, but at the same time, I try to keep this spot untouched from what I'm doing so we can continue to do this. Yeah, you're right. Is it Roseanne? Roseanne? There's a lot of people that underestimate the strength. But a lot of that is really based on, I can't emphasize it enough, that strong armature is so important. That foundation, that armature will really make or break your prop. This guy, man, I can feel some weak spots on him because I rushed him. But he's light enough that even with those weak spots, I don't think I'm going to have much of a problem. Where's my other? Right here. Let's use this one. Let's use this one. Throw that up there and let's find pronounce Rosani. 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 Awesome, thank you. I'm sorry, I butcher everybody's names. So bad. I try not to, but you know, it just is what it is, right? I do my best. I do my best. I do my best on all of it. Do my best to help keep you guys entertained while here's what I'm impressed with. There's still 10 of you, so I've averaged like 10 to 15 people on these live classes, and I really dreaded doing these live deals because a lot of this stuff is very boring while you're doing it, unless you're actually creating it. So it can be very, very boring to watch, and so I was very hesitant to do any kind of live stuff because it'd just be boring. Those of you who have stuck around just to talk and chat, and those of you who are building along, appreciate it. And I'm glad you guys stick around and talk and whatever. It's great. Hopefully I can get more of you guys on the train of building every Monday night and creating some cool stuff. All right, let's off me back to the spider. Woo. We're gonna do, I need some newspaper to dry my brush off with. Where? Let's just use, you know what, we'll just use this. Doesn't matter, this will work. And before anybody says anything, because it always is, when I dry brush white over this black, on whatever you make, it always looks super cool. I'll admit to it. And everybody's just like, stop right there, leave it right there. That's, yes, it does look pretty cool, but at the same time, you know, this thing is supposed to be a pumpkin spider, so we've got to get pumpkin colors on it. Man, I still got some black. I think I picked up black off. Spider's not quite dry. And I'm picking up some black paint off of him. Yeah, I'm turning this almost gray. Oh, these little bitty legs are hard to paint. Even dry brushing. They have so much bounce. It's funny, I got an email. I think it's got to be junk email, but I got this email saying it was from YouTube threatening a hard copyright strike off the last live from last week. I find that hilarious because Spider Pumpkin is my intellectual property that I've made and created. As a matter of fact, I created the first Spider Pumpkin like 6 years ago. And then the background music right here is from StreamYard themselves that I'm paying for a subscription for. And this is their stuff, which they say is completely royalty free, so there's no copyright strike stuff there. I just saw the email right before we went live, so tomorrow I will get in discovery mode and just see what's going on. Pretty sure I'm not breaking the rules. Can you guys see? I just pulled this up out of frame. Sorry. Brady Zone, hey, what's up? Glad to see you're here. Dirty Santa, that's right, breaking the law. There's so many. Little nooks and crannies on this guy. Yeah, this is real soft right there, man. I really wish I would have layered some more on there, hardened that up. But the only thing I worry about the risk with acrylic paints is if something's too squishy or moves around too much, it can pop off. I don't think the paint will pop off of this. I should have paid more attention and put some more layers of paste on there that would have taken care of that, but I didn't, so here we are. It'll be okay though. And that's the only other thing with cotton, doing the cotton balls and mache I like is cotton doesn't fall apart when it gets wet. And every cotton ball pumpkin that I've put out in the yard, it's funny, they've seemed to be a little bit more resilient than the paper clay ones. Berlin, I have two. Where are we at? Let's see. Berlin says I have 2 pumpkins and pumpkin baskets started. Nice. Trick or treat baskets. Awesome. Trying to have them done for your birthday, April 11th. It's coming up. Yeah, that's good. You know what? It's good to have a date to hold yourself to, right? To get things finished up. I've got to get going on another pumpkin for Keith and Vic Monster Misfits to give away. I need to get one of those going in the background too while everything else is happening. This is still a pretty quick paint job. I mean, because I got a little heavy on the white right there. I can wipe that down just a little bit. Look at that. Goodbye. Nice. Because of the fact that we're almost right now to the stage of adding color, and most of this color is going to be done in washes, so it's pretty simple. Berlin, I'm not sure. I know that when I talked to Vic, when Vic talked to me, they're talking about 60 days from now being able to get everything done. They're still working on some other details of that stuff, so I don't have all the info yet. Once I've got some of that info, I'll let you know, and then hopefully by the time we get some of that info, I'll have this remaking some of the studio stuff done, and I can get back to normal YouTube videos as well, and we can talk about some of the stuff on there. I missed some of the normal YouTube videos where I can edit and do some fun stuff and some corny jokes. And you can see a project from start to finish in one. Freddy Zone. She's saying hi to. Oh, I'm going to screw that up again. What? Rosani. Man, I'm going to have to say that over and over and over again. Brady Zone has a Sphinx. Is that what? Yeah, Egyptian Sphinx she's been working on. She sent me some pictures of it. It looks pretty cool. Well, she sent it over to me on Patreon because she's a supporter over at Patreon. That Sphinx is really neat. I'm looking forward to seeing some finished pictures of it. And Sandy sent me some pictures, or sent me an email the other day with some updated pictures, but I don't see Sandy on here right now. She may be hanging out in the background, but the pictures didn't come through. So if you're watching this now, Sandy, or you're watching it tomorrow or some other time during the week, the new pictures you sent didn't come through, and I don't know why. I'm going to hit this. I'm just kind of lightening up some of this a little bit with a little extra white, because it's the white that's going to carry the color here in just a little bit when we start doing these washes. And this is, I mean, this, you could almost get away with painting any prop like this. Especially if you are afraid that you don't have skills for painting. This painting technique right here is great. Because here's the deal. When you're dry brushing this and we're picking up all this kind of detail or whatever, when we stain or we do a wash over the top of that, the white's going to pick up the color of the wash. And then as that dries down, because we got the dark and what, that just adds all this depth, like you did all this extra stuff on the color side of it, as if you were some professional artist that went to school forever to paint in a certain way. And it looks good, and it's actually super easy to do. I used to paint everything like this. I don't do it so much anymore because I've gotten to challenging myself to actually paint highlights and things like that. I love to learn new stuff all the time and different ways to paint. But I can tell you this, some of the others where you're really painting on them highlights and everything else is not the most time effective way to paint. They yield great results, but it does take a lot longer. And you're trying to knock something out just for Halloween or whatever, sometimes this is the way to go. What's the biggest pumpkin dimensions I've ever made? Dirty Santa wants to know. Okay, well, let's do it like this. So a pumpkin, as of right now, I think the biggest one I ever did was standard pumpkin was, I don't know, 20 some inches tall and probably 12 inches around the circumference, something like that. I try to keep a lot of my pumpkins like pumpkin size, like what you normally see. However, I want to make some big ones. But that being said, you guys might not classify this as a pumpkin, but I do. I made a pumpkin dragon, and the head of the dragon was this huge pumpkin, right? So it goes along the ideas of this spider. I love this whole thing of pumpkins being twisted and turned into these other creatures. So I made this pumpkin dragon. The head, the pumpkin head, teeth, standing on from nose to the back of the head was almost 6 foot tall. And then that thing was, I don't know, 3 foot around, something like that. And the biggest portion of it, whatever. That thing was huge. So if we classify that as a pumpkin, then that's the biggest pumpkin I've ever made. It just depends on if you guys want to qualify that as a pumpkin or not. Oh, look, it's so bright. All right, where's this? Let's rinse this out. And I'm going to hit this with the heat gun real quick. We're going to dry that out a little faster, and we're going to move on to some color. Move on to some color. Let's see, put that down. Ooh, where'd you go, heat gun? There we go, right here. And I think we'll paint the pumpkin part first, because that'll be the quickest. And then we'll move on to the body and the legs and the stem, that type of stuff. Dirty Santa asked, did I run into any different challenges when I went that big? Absolutely, I did. When I went that big, I actually had to use I had some sheet metal, and I basically made, all right, before I get going painting on this, the first thing I did was made this big oblong ball thing, whatever, and then I had cardboard on the inside, whatever, and I wrapped that in strip mache just like anything else, right? A boatload of layers on it, thinking I could just layer up enough paper to do that. And I mean, I layered it up, made this big, huge thing, let that thing dry, and then I cut it in half because I wanted the mouth to be opened up. Realized that as big as that was, I honestly needed to go way more layers. Like, I should have made it where that thing was a ½ inch thick for the paper, which would have been, whew, that's a lot of mache. So anyway, it was flimsy, and then I took sheet metal and I made a bunch of I made sheet metal bars, or basically I bent them into L brackets. I basically made this sheet metal skeleton that went on the inside that I then set the top shell and the bottom shell too, and then I wound up macheing stuff around the inside and hiding all that stuff. So I had to do all that, which was a boatload of work. And then even over time, after 3 or 4 years, even that sheet metal kind of started to give a little bit. So that structure underneath should have been built out of something way more rigid, like either for the size of it, probably honestly should have been either wood or like rebar that was welded or something or whatever, anything that actually had more structure to it. I mean, it held up pretty good for about 5 years. No one would have known. I mean, when you saw it, the mouth was still open. Most people that saw it didn't realize anything, but I knew that when I first made it, the mouth was a lot wider open and it started to sag over the years. And then also, so I did that layer with that, and then I used pool noodles to do all the pumpkin ribbing on it. So I cut pool noodles in half and then glued all that stuff down to kind of create the ribbing and all that. And once I got all that stuff kind of done and this head kind of shaped in, then I went back in with paper towels. Yeah, paper towels and mache paste, and skinned it with that, and then painted and stuff. So it was a huge challenge. The big stuff's fun. It does make a complete different challenge. And you're talking about me, someone who's never did anything like that before. I just wanted to do it. And that's how I kind of throw myself into everything. Never done stuff before, just wanted to do it. That's how I even started doing stuff with mache. And then the channel progressed into something that was like, hey, this is how I do things. The way I mache may not be the correct way. And I don't know if there's even really a correct way to mache. There's so many different ways to do it, whatever it is. All I can do is when I do the channel and I do this or I do videos, all I'm basically saying is, hey, this is how I made it. This is what I've done. I put these out in the yard. I have success with them. These things work, may not work. And then I get comments on different things where they're like, hey, if you did this, it'd be easier. And I'm like, oh, you know what? That's a good idea. So, yeah, I'm never afraid to try something, right? It's either going to work or it's not, you know? Oh my God. Okay. Hang on. Thanks, Rosany. That's something my goal eventually is everything in the yard to be creatures transformed from pumpkins. I've got a story too in my head that I want to write. I'm not a writer, but I'd like to write a book. I've got this story in my head about why it is that we put pumpkins out in front of your house for Halloween in the first place. And it's not the traditional deal. Traditionally they started doing turnips or whatever it was overseas somewhere, carving those out, and then it migrated over here and started using pumpkins. But it's completely different from that. It'd be a fun story. I think it's something that would give like Nightmare Before Christmas a run for its money. So in all these creatures that I've been making that are these twisted pumpkin-y style creatures, these all come from this idea of this story in my head, so that's why I make them. All right, moving on, we're going to color. This is like a dirtier orange right here. I just used a standard, well, this even says pumpkin orange. So it's got pumpkin orange, brown, and the water. So I've already watered this down to make this a wash in itself. I learned that a lot of times when I'm trying to make these washes and I'm putting them on these little pallets, I don't make enough or I make too much and then I waste a lot of paint. So hey, Sandy's here. I try to start doing this now so I'm not wasting so much paint. Sandy says, can what? Let me know. Let's get back on this pumpkin. Woo! I can do almost anything. Oh, let's get that out of there. Hopefully this is thin enough. I really like to do these washes really, really thin. I think we'll be okay. Let's see, I want to move this up and I want to start. Yeah, she's soft right now. She's soft. I didn't put enough on it, but it's going to dry out and be okay. Oh, this may need a little more water in it. I don't know. Oh, it might be all right. Yeah, it's going to be okay. I might have to add a little more water to it. No, maybe not. You know what? I'm going to add a little water to the side. I don't want it to be, what is it? Oh, super opaque where you can't see through it. I want it to be a little more translucent. So we're picking up this white a little better. It's just a little too dark. So in my palette, just to show you what I'm doing. Yeah, you guys can't even see it. So I've got this orange over here, which I should have put more water in the first place. I'm just going to add some water to the next open deal right next to it. And I'll probably just dip my brush into the water and then go to the paint. Just so I got a little more water on my brush, and that'll thin it out enough to let this wash out just a little bit better. Yeah, just like that. See, that loaded my brush up with quite a bit of water, and that almost was too thin right there, which is fine. You can always go back over with your color again. But it's always good to have a little bit of water right next to you when you're doing these washes so you can thin it out again real quick. And then when you paint these things, like, well, I'm back. Holy cow. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know what's going on. I'm dropping out for some weird reason. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully we're still there. Let's get rid of music for now. Back to comments. All right, hopefully we're back. I don't know, I'm hoping so. Let's see, settings. And that looks like it's working. Okay. Hopefully we're back up and running. I'm hoping so, hoping so. I don't know what happens. Yeah, I lost all you guys. Like, it really went out. It's really weird, and I think it has something to do with StreamYard. Because my internet connection, like, it starts doing that, and I look at my connection, and it's strong. But then I've got on my side, I've got this deal that shows internet connection. It's like, I guess it's like StreamYard's internet connection. And it gets weak. I don't understand why. Thank you, Linda, for letting me know. You guys can hear me once again. I think I am going to hit this just one more time real quick. I mean, that's not a bad looking orange right there, but I am going to run just kind of over these spots right here again. Just so I can emphasize that a little bit. But that's coming along. See, that looks like a pumpkin. Let's get that. How's that? That shot's a little bit better. I'm gonna get you a prettier shot on this guy. Now we let that dry out. See, that's not too bad. You know, that's fast, quick. The color in this camera is not the best, but this passes. That passes for pumpkin color, right? Not too bad. It's got some interesting looks to it. It's got some darkness to it. It works. And it was low effort. So we're going to let that side dry up. We're going to move to washing out the stem area here. I want to put that music back on, but I wonder if that like slowed things down. I don't know. So we're at what? We're at an hour and 20 minutes so far. We started with nothing being painted yet. So we've done a base coat in black. We've done dry brush this thing in white. Yeah. Not bad. I'm going to move this out of the way because I don't want to mix my colors. It's not too bad. I just got another tray. Oh, I forget I got this overhead camera up here. You guys can see. And I've got a whole nother, same thing, another wash with a weird mixed up green. It might be too vibrant. I don't know. I think I'm going to darken that. I think I'm going to muddy this green just a little bit. Let's add some black to it. Not too much black. And I'm going to add a little brown to it too. Get in there. Okay. We're going to give this a stir, and then I'm going to add some distilled water to this and shake it up a little bit. Boy, that's pretty vibrant right there. Man. Let's darken that a little bit more. Here you go, top view. I'm stirring it up. That's a little bit better. That's a dingier. I'm looking for kind of a dingier green. That's dingier than what it was. And I think that's going to work. We're going to play with that. And again, we're going to water this down. Water this down with all this, basically kind of a black base. It'll work. Yeah, look at that. The overhead, it is real, but I can tell you, the overhead camera, that color orange right there, it's, I don't know, in real life, it's like, it's in between these two, right? So this is a little more, this camera, the quality of the color isn't so good. It's a little more dingy. It's not quite this bright to the naked eye. But anyway, it's kind of in between. It's going to work. And even if I needed to put like a black wash over it, or if I went and ran a, brown wash, dingy it up, I like some of the stuff that'd be kind of dirtier looking, if that makes any sense to you guys at all. That looks almost like it's not thin enough. So we're going to add a little water right here. And I'm going to try this again. Let's see if we can lock everything up again. Why not? Hey, let's play this song. Hopefully. And I'm going to go over this whole thing in this green color. And then I'm going to come back. And we're going to probably dry brush like we were talking about before. With, man, is that loud? That's like loud to me. Anyway, we're going to do this green on here. We get green down on the inside, and then we're going to dry brush some browns over the top of all this. Well, I'm glad you think it's amazing. I think it's turned out pretty cool. That should be my theme song right there. Everybody wants to complicate everything. You know, another thing a person could have done, because a jute twine had a pretty good color to it too. I guess you could have come through here and painted all this base up beforehand, and then brought the jute twine in afterwards and wrapped all over the stuff you'd already painted. It still would have worked that way too, and would have been less painting. I think that probably would have worked out pretty good. Thank you, Joey. Sorry if I got quiet. I'm just kind of concentrating. I'm getting concentrating mode sometimes, and then I forget that you guys are sitting there watching. All right, that's enough of that song. I can't do that over and over again. I mean, it's okay. This says feeding the ducks. Let's feed the ducks with this song. Let's feed some ducks. I don't know if this is feeding the ducks, but that's what it says. Feeding the ducks. How about we feed our pumpkin tarantula with some ducks? Oh, he looks pretty cool. Move this up. I got to hold him now. Hopefully I didn't just get, green paint all over everything and just paint it orange. Because everything's still pretty wet. Oh, there's a spot right there. I completely missed with the orange. I'll have to come back and get here after a bit. Honestly, probably no one will ever see it. Linda, I'd like to find some Halloween music. I am trying to, well, this week I didn't get a chance to look. I have to be careful with music. It's got to be royalty-free music. If it's not, then I get slapped with copyright strikes and things like that. And if that stuff happens too much, I can actually get kicked off of YouTube and not have a YouTube channel anymore. And all that good. They're really, really strict when it comes to music. So I found there's a website. It's called, right now I'm trying to find stuff that's free because I don't have a lot of expendable cash just to pay for all kinds of stuff. But there's Creator Music or something it was called. Guys put together, him and his brother put together a website just for streaming music. And I was kind of looking at that tonight. And they've got like several different genres. So it'd be interesting if they got like a kind of a creepier, moodier genre. I would love just to do some traditional Halloween style music. But I get in trouble. Man, I'm getting that way out of your guys' view, aren't I? I apologize. Hey, Vic's here. Awesome. Looks like an ant crawling out of a pumpkin. Mm-hmm. Of course. How was How was the convention? I saw Keith's video that he put up, but you guys do good? How the booth do? How'd all that go? Let me know, man. I'm curious to know. These things are always fun. One of these days, maybe I'll start doing some stuff, making some molds and creating some junk, and maybe I'll go hit some of those up. Yeah, I know. I know you got to bust them. It was great. Dude, that's awesome that you almost sold out everything. Sweet, man. That's good to hear, dude. I like hearing stuff like that. The booth looked good from what I saw on Keith's video. I thought the booth looked real good. Now, Vic, when you went up there and did that, I mean, you basically almost sold out of everything, but like, did you do anything like take orders or anything too for, you know, people who maybe want some or whatever for Halloween time, or were you just, was it all just like cash and carry type of a thing? Okay. You sold the booth too? That's awesome. So that was a lot less stuff you had to come back with. How about that? That's sweet. Okay. Let's move it on. We're going to move on. Hang on. Let's hit this. So we got this green going on here. Got a green going on here, starting to look pretty good. I mean, that kind of represents, you know, a pumpkin stem, right? Getting ready to hit this with the heat gun again, and then we're going to do some dry brush with some browns, and I'm going to try to be very careful and only hit the jute twine areas and stuff with the brown. I'm going to try to stay away from, you know, this area in the face here with any of the browns and stuff. But after I do the browns, I might come back in and do some highlights, some lighter greens, and bring up some of these areas a little bit too. We'll just see how it goes. When we do these browns, the thing should really start to kind of come alive. Hey, that's awesome, Vic. Holy cow. I've thought about trying to figure out a way to cast this. I don't know if you could really cast this as it is, so many small little things. But I've thought about doing like a cast of the pumpkin, a cast of this area in here, and then maybe the legs by themselves, and then pouring them in a rigid foam or whatever, and then selling them as a kit you can buy online. Spider pumpkin kit. You get the pumpkin and all the stuff in foam with the legs, and then you build it, put it together at home, and then decorate it, do all the extra, you know, accoutrements that you want yourself. That's an idea rolling through my head. if there's anybody out there that would be interested in something like that. We'll see how things go in the future. All right, we're going to start off with just some dark brown. Some pretty dark brown. We're going to do a light dry brush on this. I'm going to get a smaller brush because I really just want to hit the I'm really trying to just concentrating on this areas of the jute twine. Kits for kids. That would be a good kit for anybody. Add some pumpkin spiders to their Halloween decor. It'd be cool to figure out how to really do it and then just sell them made, but I'm not big on, I haven't done a lot of molding. Not sure I really call this a dry brush. It's kind of a, I'm gonna bring this guy a little bit closer. Maybe you can see what I'm doing. You might be able to see in the overhead. I know the overhead's quite ways away. The brush is still pretty wet. I'm not knocking off a lot of the paint, but I'm just trying to carefully come over the little jute twine tendrils or vine or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to start out dark. We're going to wind up doing some lighter colors back over this, and then I may have to, like, I hit some brown down in low there. I'll probably have to come back in with that green again. Touch up some of those areas. This is going to be the most tedious part of this. And what might have been easier, well, honestly, what would have been easier is to let this dry up. Hell, I don't know. Could have done it, painted it all brown, let it dry up, and then shot some clear coat out of a rattle can over the top of all this, right? And then that rattle can create a better protection barrier. So let's say this whole thing was brown instead of green. Then can shoot that with rattle can clear, let that dry out, then come back with the green paint, slopped it all on there, and then wiped off everything from the top sides, which would have left all these pieces brown that I'm painting right now, and left that green down on the inside. Well, that would have been a faster way. Keith, what's up? Nice to see you on chat, man. I didn't think I was going to see you or Vic tonight. Try to do this in the camera where you can see it. It's just tough to keep it in the camera and paint at the same time. Right on. Just getting home, so you're not working. That's good. Yeah, thanks, dude. I dig these pumpkin spiders, man. I always liked the big one I made, and then this one's been pretty fun. I need to make some more. It's been a fun class. I'm hoping everybody is building along, and I know a few of you guys are behind. So I'm going to give it a couple weeks before I do the video on everybody's stuff that built along. So I'll wait a few weeks, and hopefully you guys that are kind of running behind or whatever, just let me know. And if you want to be featured in the video, I'll hang on and wait, and I'll wait for your picks. And then once I get everybody's stuff, get the video put up on all the pumpkin spiders that were made. Also, once again, I said it earlier, for those of you guys that just maybe joined here in the past few minutes, this after tonight, this one's done. I need an idea of what everybody might want to see on the next class. Like I said before, maybe some kind of pumpkin groundbreaker. That was kind of an idea in my head. I'm willing to take on ideas. Put them in the chat. And if you're watching this, I have to say this now. For those of you catching this when it's not live, throw it down in the chat. Because everything that's in the live chat, once this goes live, you don't see that chat anymore. It disappears. Right on. Yeah, dude, Keith, I've seen some of them skulls you were putting together. They're pretty freaking sweet, man. I like them. Yeah, I'm definitely going to come back in with that green and just touch up some spots. Ah, but Linda, you'll get it done though, right? I mean, whether it's next week or whatever, at least it'll be done. That's right, Vic. You didn't make one. You got to make one. So I can feature the work that you guys are doing right along with me. Gosh dang it. Yeah, there you go. You can still get a participation trophy from Keith. Keith will send it to you. I don't have any made up at this point in time. Holy cow. Keeps hanging up. Everybody still there? Build one, Keith. I didn't have any spiders at all until I did the other, the big pumpkin spider. When it gets wore out, Vic, I probably will set this thing on fire. I burned a couple of them. I've destroyed more than one prop. Oh my gosh. Right on, Joey, still here. Quick stick figure spider. Mm-hmm. Yeah, MHC's coming up pretty soon too. When is MHC coming up? I know it's not too far out. Okay, I gotta just flip them over. these glasses are horrible. I can't see anything. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? June 9th and 10th, right on. Sandy, guess what? Is your keyboard just set on yes? Oh my gosh. All right. Goodness. Get off of there. All right, we're about to hit this with some lighter browns. Pretty close, pretty close. Except for the fact that I missed this entire back leg. And we missed this leg right here. Yeah, it just kind of happens, huh, Vic? I've had more than one of my props meet a ugly end. All right, let's add some. I don't know how well you can see. Let's see what the top. Let's rotate this real quick. Come here. Wake up, camera. All right. So you can kind of start seeing how there's some definition, some change in there. I am going to go back in and touch up some of that green, but coming along, flip that back over. We're going to add some lighter browns onto this thing just to kind of bring that out a little bit more. Oh, holy cow. All right, awesome. Thanks, Sandy. I think you're a little bit behind. Okay, awesome. I'll look for the progress pictures on your spider. Look forward to it. We've officially hit the 2-hour mark. Huh. Ooh, that is nasty. This is almost dried up. Almost dried up. Come out of there. Ooh, yeah. Bloop. Bloop. That's a big old turd. Come out of there. Come here. Mm-hmm. Oh, that may be too. I don't know. That may be too bright. I just gotta. And once again, I got quiet. Sorry, guys. Holy cow. Yeah, thank you. Rosani. Yeah, the texture does finally start to pop. It's just so there's so much little detail in this that I'm almost frustrated in a way. Just because I'm trying to kind of jam through this quick for you guys. And my family is already asking if I'm almost done. Because my internet seems to be so slow that when I do these things, nothing else can be on the internet in the house. Can almost really use a teeny tiny fine brush. Try to pull off what I'm trying to do. We're getting there though. I've got a lot of this brown kind of where I don't want it. I wanted to keep a lot of that green, darker green, deeper down. I may wind up, once this is all said and done, doing a clear coat on it real quick. And then running another green wash all over everything and then wiping it all back down. The way I can get some of that green back down on those recessed areas. Pull a little darker brown back into that. The tips there. We got too much white right there. What's going on with that? Man, I can just keep going over and over and over it again, seeing like little bitty things that I kind of missed here and there. I don't know. Might not even be, some of it may not even be worth it. Considering that a lot of it when it's out in the yard won't even be seen. But I'm also one of those guys that I think the Halloween props need to look just as good in the daytime as they do in the night or underneath show lights. Some people don't agree with that, but I do. Oh, thanks, Vic. Vic. Send super chat says burn it. Not yet. Not yet. Joey, I did not spar varnish it tonight before I started painting it. I should have. I got so much other stuff going on that I got lazy and I barely got this thing done and ready for tonight just to paint. So I didn't do the spar urethane beforehand. That's the much smarter thing to do, especially if it's going outside in the yard. I will hit it with some spar urethane when I'm done to get some weather protection on it. But yeah, I should have done it beforehand, but I did not. I did not get that achieved. Okay. So it's not looking, boy, it's hard to see with that camera. Boy, those colors, this camera just doesn't pick up the colors. But that's starting to shine through. Let's see the big one here. Yeah, you're right. You're so right, Rosani. That but just trying to get it done. Let's see if this camera catches up. So it doesn't look too awful bad. I'm going to paint on these teeth a little bit. Doesn't look super awesome either. We're pretty close to being done. I'm going to hit some greens back down in here, and then I might do, like I said, I might even spar urethane it and then do like a whole nother kind of brown wash just to pull it all, tie it all together. Possibly. Really not sure. I do think that this needs to be brown right around here, though. I'm going to stipple this on a little bit here. My eyes just aren't what they used to be. Sucks. Let me give me some more light here. Maybe that'll help. All right. We're getting very, very, very close to being done with this guy. I've got to hit some of this real quick again, this green. We're going to yeah, what are we going to do? I'm going to paint the fangs up just a little bit, dirty them down. We're going to do a little yellow and white and tan. Because technically the things are supposed to be pumpkin seeds. Just real quick, like I'm coming back in here where some of this brown got on this green. I'm just going to cover some of that back up again. Easy enough. Got to make some of that disappear. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the jute twine really adds some awesome texture to this thing. It's kind of made painting it a pain. I probably should have attacked the paint job in a completely different fashion, but too late now. We got through it. Really? Okay. Holy cow. Here's what I'm going to do. Otherwise, I'm going to sit here and nitpick this thing apart all night long. It's looking pretty decent. Yeah, maybe there's some things I could do another wash over. Probably for sure to kind of blend some things in. Oh my God, I can't stop myself. But I am going to stop. You guys got the gist of the paint job figured out, right? So I can go all night long. You going back and touching all this stuff up, and I might even do some more touch up. I am going to dirty up the things a little bit, make it a little bit dirtier. But before we get off of here, let's see about scraping these eyeballs clean again. I do have paint thinner and Q-tips, which RJ was saying earlier, in case. But let's just try it with a razor blade real quick. See if we can reveal these eyes. Real fast. Live. No way, Vic. My pumpkin's alive, bro. He's not all dead and tore apart. Ooh, I may not. I may have to use some paint thinner. Come off a little bit. I think I am going to go ahead and grab some paint thinner. Play that, see if I can get that off. But I'm not going to sit here and make you guys watch that. All right, we're going to call this tonight done. We pretty much got all through it. I'm going to go, like I said, I'm going to darken down things a little bit, make them look a little bit muddier, darker. I'm going to get these eyes cleaned up on here. She'll be all done, but she looks pretty cool. Doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I've seen Distortions made one. I made mine 4 years before they made theirs. But you know, it's not Distortions, and I don't have the means to produce them like that. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'll let you guys go. Thanks for tuning in. I had 12 of you for 2.5 hours almost, which is freaking awesome. Leave if you're watching this afterwards, or wait, don't comment this right now because these comments will disappear as soon as this show's done. What do you guys want to see done next? Thinking the next building along some kind of maybe pumpkin groundbreaker thing, something along those lines, or some other kind of pumpkin creature. Or you guys suggest something, we'll see what we can do. Next week, we're not going to have a live class because I got to figure out what we're going to do. So hopefully between now and next week, I can figure out what we're going to do, get some suggestions from you guys. We'll get a materials list together, start another build along, and hopefully get more of you guys to build a long. So good night, Linda. Thanks for coming. RJ, thanks for seeing me here. Keith, thanks for coming. Vic, thanks for coming. Even though you guys are just busting jaws, but thanks for being here. And I'll catch all the rest of you guys on the next one. All you guys that are building along, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to give it another couple weeks, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Get me your progress pictures in. That way we can do a video on all the ones that you guys made. Till then, man, keep making something. Keep making something from nothing. And I'll see you guys soon.